The budget for Les Mis was approximately, what was it?
Well, royalties came in around $5,000.
Yeah, $5,050.
Yeah, and then of course you're going to have all your expenses for the set, and a lot of that is variable because they will reuse as many things as possible from the preceding shows until you get down to this big of a piece of styrofoam, and there's just no place else where you can use it on the set. But I think her budget was around $10,000.
I was going to say between 10 and 11.
And that's just to mount the actual show. That does not include advertising, insurance, salaries, just, simple
The
things
energy
like,
bill, nothing. That doesn't include any of that.
Getting things repaired, the plumber, whatever. Any of your overhead or physical plant costs is not included in that $10,000.
And the show is higher because we have to rent a lot of things. I sent a check to Atchison, Kansas, a theater there, to rent some weapons.
I don't think people realize either the overhead cost that goes into each show. A lot of people don't know that you have to pay royalties. That not only do you buy the script, but you have to have the license and the right to do the show. And those royalties can vary wildly from as low as $800
for a straight play.
To we just paid over $5,500. And that's before you put anything on the stage. That's before you spend your first dollar on a paintbrush or anything for the set. That's just to say, yes, you can use our show and do it.
And speaking of the paintbrush, so much of the stuff we have back in the shop, a lot of that has been donated. For every show we have billed for paint, we have billed for styrofoam, we have billed for wood, we have billed, and the wood people that put it together do it for nothing. Think of how much more it would cost us if we were in New York where we had, union people doing that. We don't.
Now, speaking of New York, even professional theaters have underwriters, they have producers. So they're not relying just on ticket sales. Of course, that's where their dividends come from. That's on the back end.
We had someone here today talking to us at our meeting about estates and people that could leave money in their estate and set it up properly so that the theater could benefit. That is a way some theaters do. We don't really get that. But it's a way also of generating money. People assume that all the money for a theater comes from ticket sales, and that's far from the truth. We all in the theater know that. Most theaters in America are in the same situation we are. They need angels. Angels are a big part of what we depend on, and people that donate for the production of the show to pay for the royalties and stuff like that. We're very dependent on advertising.
The rule of thumb is 60% comes from earned income. The other 40% has to come from unearned income. So it's obviously people who love the theater enough that they'll give us a little more.
And that's honestly, I know that, she knows that, but most people do not know that. They would probably think it was more like 80-20 or 90-10.
Right.
But it isn't.
Right.
And we are very dependent on all the other stuff that surrounds the theater and the love of the theater, the people that want to help us.
You have to be real creative sometimes. Just like the 50-50. There was a lot of resistance to doing the 50-50 when we first started doing it here because people thought, that kind of was a carnival type of thing to do or something like that. But now it fills a niche. It may not make a lot of money, but it makes enough every time to help us sustain things and keep things open.
What I think this tells us is the marketing person doing marketing is a very important person for the theater. To have the fundraisers like when we did the Patsy Cline, what was it? What did we call
Boots
it?
And Bling.
The Boots and Bling thing was a huge success. Okay, we did the Dust Ball for the Wizard of Oz. We've done different things. That's all money to help pay for the show. Usually
we try to recruit a volunteer who's willing to go out and sell ads, and of course, that's always a tough thing to do because people don't like to cold call. People don't like to be cold called. And then sponsorships is that's kind of, it's fundraising, but it's also advertising because it does get the company's name out there, or if it's a personal person who's sponsoring it, they get recognition as well. That's something that I directly do most of the time. Anybody can bring in a sponsorship or an ad. That's wonderful. We never turn anything like that away, but mostly it's somebody coming in that I have met somewhere along the line or something, and they have contact with. As far as ad sales go, the ad sales are in our programs only for the main stage shows, not for any additional special events or anything like that. And they fell off for a while. They're starting to pick up again. I think people are realizing what a great opportunity this is, because you've got people sitting there for up to an hour with nothing else to do but talk to each other and look at our program.
Speaking of up to an hour earlier, we're lucky enough to have the bar here. You know, some theaters do not have that. We draw a very nice income to help our theater here because of Anthony's Bar. We really do. It's a very profitable bar. So
it's very unusual for theaters to have a full service bar like this.
Yes.
I think most people have been to a theater seeing a little lobby bar.
Yeah, you get a beer, you know, a choice of 3 beers and a white or red wine, and you're done. You know, so but we have the full bar, so that is unusual, and that is to our benefit. So
Yeah, it's saved us a lot.
Bring your booty back to sit down and just relax. Enjoy the show and share a drink with someone that you know.